Anti-Trump establishment pundit Karl Rove is making a rather bold prediction about 2020. Rove believes Bernie Sanders can beat President Trump. Rove, a Bush loyalist, famously predicted Trump would never win the GOP nomination in 2016. Of course Trump did, and went on to then defeat Hillary Clinton to win the presidency. Town Hall reported that Rove believes Senator Bernie Sanders, IVT, may have what it takes to win the presidency in 2020. Rove, the architect of George W. Bush's gubernatorial and presidential campaigns, appeared on Fox and Friends Friday morning to explain in further detail an op-ed he penned this week titled, "Bernie Sanders Could Win This Time." First, he commended Sanders for eschewing DNC Chair Tom Perez's signal to Democratic candidates to stay off of Fox News when he partook in an hour-long town hall with Fox anchors Brett Baier and Martha MacCallum. That decision paid off for Sanders, who was rewarded with the largest viewership of any campaign event thus far, Rove said. He also observed that Sanders has learned from mistakes during his 2016 campaign. Watch the video. Watch the latest video at foxnews.com from LifeZit. So let me get this straight. Karl Rove is publicly stating that the American people are going to fire a guy with decades of high achievement and a record of positive accomplishments as president, in favor of a socialist who looks like he sleeps in his car and is so lazy he got thrown out of a hippie commune for not pulling his weight. In my humble opinion, is he nuts? If Sanders wins in 2020, we are done as the United States of America, and we will become simply America, and join the rest of the world in servitude to the central state, something our founding fathers said was intolerable. Didn't we all learn from the 2016 election that Rove doesn't know what he's talking about anymore? His old analysis is no longer valid and hasn't been for several years. He is a lot more fluid, Rove said, noting that Sanders deftly pivoted to the messages he wanted to push when Fox News anchors Martha MacCallum and Brett Baier asked him tough questions about his taxes, and to respond to presidential contender and South Bend, Indiana, Mayor Pete Buttigieg's call for a new generation of leadership. He says, "I paid all the taxes I owe," and he quickly pivots and says, "I released 10 years of tax returns. President Trump ought to do the same." Martha says, "You know, here's Mayor Pete, he says there should be a new generation of leadership. You will be 79 if you're sworn in as president." He makes a joke. He says, "It's a fair question." He says, "It's not whether you're young or old, it's what you believe." Every time he brought it back to his message, said Rove, who wrote about Sanders' strong 2020 prospects in a Wall Street Journal editorial this week, "that demonstrated to me that he has learned from having run before. He really did a good job of softening the edges of socialism. Whenever the issue came up, he made it feel warm and fuzzy, kumbaya, shake hands, run around the campfire." Rove can take his charts and graphs and leap off a cliff. Even Megyn Kelly made a fool of him during the 2012 election. As President Donald Trump said of the Green New Deal, "If you can't defeat Bernie and his bald-faced lies, you don't deserve to be president." With each election, the Dems introduce a new level of lying. President Bill Clinton lied about personal crap but was somewhat truthful about his endgame. President Barack Obama lied about everything except his love for his children. Bernie Sanders is looking to take that standard to a new low, or high, depending on how you look at it. Rove is big on surveys, and he's often wrong. "I feel the country is going in the wrong direction, too, culturally and politically, but President Trump is the only politician willing to put a stop to it. Bernie is on a fast train to communism for this country, as are Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, DNY, and other freshman congresswomen. These issues, plus stopping the influx of illegal immigrants, are what a majority of Americans refer to when asked if the country is headed in the right direction or not." Loading. Let's block ads. Why?